Good morning, everybody. I am making this video. Um, this one's going to be a little different than last time because last time our topic of conversation was defending in the attacking third. The new topic of conversation for the next couple of weeks is going to be defending in the middle third. And the three objectives that we want to achieve when we're talking about defending in the middle third are number one, we don't allow progression, meaning we don't allow the other team to get forward from the middle third into our defensive third. That's our first objective. Second objective is we need to make sure that we are in a pressure cover balance situation. So there needs to be pressure on the ball, a secondary defender covering for that initial pressure player, and then we always need to be in balance. There has to be somebody on our weak side watching out for any balls that get switched from one side of the field to the other. And again, the weak side is the side of the field where opposite of where the ball is. So those are the two objectives. The third objective is that we need to win the ball back. This video is going to be based off of those three objectives and how well we do within those three objectives. So our first little clip here is here at this point. The ball is gotten back to the white team here. I'm going to hold it right here. Everybody is matched up nicely. We have Delilah providing pressure here behind the striker. We have this player up here, and our player is shifting over. However, in this situation, our defender that's way back here, she's the one that needs to be up the field up here to be able to not allow the progression. And then Cam, who's having to cover here, should be more in between these two players in case the ball goes back to this player here. So when we roll it from here, we see that the ball tries to get played forward. We do a good job of keeping it there. However, we lose on the 1v1. So we're not we're not successful in not allowing them to progress. We continue to roll it from here, and we see that they make it into our defensive third. So that's the first video clip. Second clip is at the 3-minute and 10 mark. This is from a goal kick, and one thing that we saw and that we continue to see from teams is that they play a short goal kick and then they're looking to go really, really long. So this is what happens here. They go short kick and then they go really, really long, and I'll hold it right there because now the ball is in our middle third. And if we look at our assignments, there was a defender here. Delilah would be watching her. There's a defender that actually played the ball. That's our striker's responsibility. And then we have the weak side, and that's our winger's responsibility. But this player that's here, that's getting the ball here, this is assigned to our defender that is way so far off that we can't see her on the screen. So if I roll it from here, she receives there, and I hold it there. And this is way too much distance. This is way too much space between where our defender is and where their player is. If their player would have been back here, then it would have been appropriate for our defender to be quite back there. But because their player was up the field further, we should have been tighter on that player. We allow the play to roll, and we get it back there. So, and this is becoming more and more of an issue that our defenders are staying too far back. They need to push up with the game, and it's going to be a recurring theme here because it happened the whole game. So that is the second clip. The next clip is just a few seconds after that. Again, goal kick. They play from the goal kick, and we'll hold it there. We do a decent job of cutting off the passing lanes. Unfortunately, that's we should have won the ball back here. It gets past our first player. Our defender is up this time, and so we are able to cut that off. And then as we let the ball play here, it's another situation where we are adequately covered. We have, again, Delilah providing the pressure on the player. We have Cam covering. We have our defender here. So everything looks good except for one little situation, which is our weak side. We have no balance. If this player were to come here and exploit this space here, there is no cover there. So our right wing is a little high up the pitch. They would need to be dropping back. But luckily, we were able to stay in our position, and then our wing drops back, and we're adequately covered. Everybody's matched up. We're in a good situation. The next clip is a little bit further down. So let me bring this back just a little bit. So we're here. We're keeping them there in the attacking third. They miraculously get out, and I'm gonna hold it right there. So our girls are doing an awesome job of getting back. We have pressure on the ball here. We have players that are starting to cover. What I would like to see is a little bit more aggressive take here to get in front of this player, not just follow them down the field. So we need to get goal side. And if we just let it play, we can see that we just allow them to continue to play forward instead of making the priority getting in front of the player. And because of that, they go all the way into our defensive third. So that is that clip. There's another clip. Next clip is a little bit further down here. The ball's in their back. Our striker does a good job of pressing here. We have girls covered here, girls covered here, although I would prefer them to be behind the player so that we can, as the ball comes to them, we can step forward into it and not have a ball go over our head and behind us. But that's little details that we need to fix. But overall, we're adequately covered here. As the ball comes, we win it back, and we don't allow the progression. We lose the ball there, and Cam does a good job of getting back. She gets triple teamed, and now we're in a situation where we have 3 players on one. This player is here. There's a player back there. Everybody's dropping back, and we hold it there. Delilah is doing a good job of dropping back to cover this player. But again, our defender is way, way too far away. She should be much closer to this play here. Luckily, Delilah does a good job of reading the pass and cutting it off here. And we're able to get the ball back. Okay, next clip. we're trying to get out, and I'm going to hold it right there. The pass goes. It's they win. They win the ball here. We have a player that is receiving the ball in the middle third, and we have to be ready to transition. Our winger's first order of business should be dropping back and getting in front of the ball. The other players, we need to have pressure on the ball right away, and not allow them this much space. It is a circumstance of the situation, but I'm just gonna roll it from here. Cam does a good job of closing it down. However, again, our defenders are way too far back. If Hallie's up here on the line, she can either cut this pass off or at the very least leave this player offsides. But she's way too far back. So the pressure here, there's a pressure, but there's no cover. Nobody's covering. If this girl traps the ball, uses her skill to get around her, then there's nobody here to cover this space, at least at this point. So Cam goes and pressures. There's lukewarm pressure. She's trying to poke at the ball, loses there, and then the player that we left open gets the ball. The next play is a few seconds later. Yeah, we'll run it from here. Actually, we'll bring it back. So here we're trying to get out. The ball gets played. We aren't able to keep it, and they win it back. She's adequately covered here, but again, where's our defender? Our defender should be pushing up. Both of them in this situation should be pushing up. We had a goal kick, and we should be pushing up the field. So I'm just gonna run it from here. She receives the ball. She plays it back. Delilah is pressuring here. But again, where's the cover? Who's covering for Delilah? Cam is in the right spot covering in the middle section. But where's our other player stepping up? We let it run from there. The ball gets played out of bounds, and we're able to get that ball back. Next clip is the 18-minute mark, and there's as of note, there are kind of long bits where we're able to keep possession or keep them outside of the middle third, whether it's in their defensive third or fighting for the ball in the middle. So that's why there's a little more gaps in between the video clips. But anyhow, the next one is here. There's a throw in. We'll hold it there. There's a throw in. The ball gets played back. We step up. Everybody's adequately covered. We have this player cutting off this player here. We have pressure on the ball. We have cover here. Although I would like to see a little bit more cover towards the center of the field rather than in the wide areas. And it's probably because I believe this is Cam pressing here and Delilah's here, instead of it being the opposite way around and having Delilah press there and Cam kind of covering this middle area. So if we let it run from there, we see that was essentially what happened. We do a good job of recovering. Everybody drops back and that. But we could have done a little bit better in not allowing them to progress in that play. The next clip is at the 19-minute mark. we'll run it from here. We do a decent job of providing pressure. They're dribbling forward. We're cutting off passes. Everybody's pressing how they should be. There's the missed tackle. So we have a 1v1 situation, and we try to gamble for the ball here. We run it back. There. We're all played on that side. We're out of balance. Our winger should be a little bit wider, not so far into the center, to be able to stop this specific situation where we have a player that's on the weak side, that's wide open, and getting the ball with space and time to move forward. Camila does a decent job of tracking back. She's trying to get to that ball. However, she tries to poke at the ball here and loses instead of getting goal side and getting in a position where she can delay their attack, give our teammates time. Cam is up the field. She needs to drop back. She's starting to do that, but we need to delay to give ourselves and our team time to drop back. So if I run it from here, she gets past that player, and they're able to move forward. We do a good job of covering for the other players, so we were able to get the ball back there. The next clip is at the all right, we'll run it from here. In this next clip, the ball gets played back. It's in the middle third, and we'll hold it right there. Camila's doing a good job of pressing them, although I would rather see more of a disciplined press and stay more central and not force the team to start playing right away. We want to maybe hang back here to allow our team to step up a little quicker. They are stepping up, but this is just a little bit slow. So if I run it here, the ball gets played to the center player, and then boom, here are our players. 1, 2, and 3. They're stepping up. So rather than press here with such a high press, it would have been better in this situation to more delay and stay in front of their assigned player, which in this case is the center back. Because we're in a 3v1 situation, it's better just to stay in front of the player and wait for your team to step up. So our team does eventually step up. Everybody gets back up and is in their assigned positions. And I'll just stop it there. This was just kind of a recurring theme with this team. They would play their outside right, and that player would just kind of bully their way through, which means that we should be covering for Delilah just a little bit more aggressively to kind of help her out. And not just Delilah, but any of the wingers that are in that situation. Our defender should be stepping up a little bit earlier so that we can have them be in a 2v1 rather than a 1v1. But anyhow, that was the second clip. The next clip. There's 2 more clips. The next one is that. Sorry. Well, we'll run it from here. Goal kick, and This is actually the play that leads to the first goal. There's a goal kick. There is no cover here. There's no covering this space. Whoever our center mid is needs to see where that ball, where the spaces are, and be able to cover the passing lanes. This is what we talk about with covering passing lanes, is that seeing that there's a big old gap here and we need to shift to it. So we're a little slow there. Our wing could have probably tucked in, seeing that they were playing long, could have tucked in and cut it off there. Our center mid could have shifted and covered, but we don't do that. The ball gets through. Our defender's a little slow at covering this player. So now you're in a disadvantage. You have a player that's receiving the ball. They're going to face you, and you're in a 1v1 situation. Our objective here is not to allow them to progress and delay so that our team, 1, 2, 3, 4 players, can drop back and help us defend. So the ball goes there. We are aggressive and poke at the ball, and we lose on that situation. And then the rest of our team is starting to get back, but they're a little bit slow. So we let it run from there. That's our first missed tackle. Here's our second missed tackle with our back coming across, being a little bit slow. And when they are there, instead of winning the possession, getting your body in front of the ball and getting it, they swing at the ball and miss it. And then the ball goes to the weak side. We're still scrambling to get back. And then a light touch, and our goalie stays home instead of stepping up. If she steps up, she wins this ball. But she's a little confused, maybe a little scared, doesn't step up, and then the ball gets just by her. And then the last clip, we'll run it for here. Another goal kick. Now we do a little bit better in seeing the space in between. Our wing is a little bit further tucked in. Our striker's getting ready to press, but our center mid again leaves that big gap in that space. And then we have a situation which was almost identical. The ball gets played into there. Their striker steps up. Our defender steps, is a little too aggressive and not conservative enough to not allow the turn. And then they get forward. So that's the video analysis for this week. Again, the topic in the next 2 weeks is going to be defending in the middle third. Defending in the middle third. And our objectives are, number 1, don't allow the progression. Number 2, pressure, cover, balance. And number 3, we need to win the ball back there. We need to not allow them to get into our defensive third. Thank you.